Hello everyone, I'm glad you're here with me again. If you are living in a place where everything is getting more expensive and you don't know why and what to do about it, this video is for you. Now, I know that the media is trying to convince everyone that inflation happens because of the war somewhere or because of a pandemic. But actually, there's only one cause for inflation. The cause that they never talk about is the parasitic politicians. And here's why. As an entrepreneur in the private sector, I can't force anyone to buy my product or to hire my service. Those who want it, they can choose to buy it. But those who don't want, there's no obligation whatsoever. However, in the public sector, it's not the same. Everyone here is forced to pay taxes that finance the decadent lifestyles of the politicians. Now, I'm not talking about taxes that are used in order to build roads or civil services. I'm talking about taxes that allow politicians to spend money on themselves and on their associates for filthy, wealthy, and luxurious lifestyles. And you'd be shocked to see how big this percentage is from the state's budget. And corrupt fascist corporations that are in bed with the government might not use force in order to inject people forcefully, but they can use shame and guilt as emotional manipulation techniques in order to sell products like how they did in 2020 and 2021. It's not about the quality of the product here. The product can actually be poisonous, yet they can trick people into buying it. On the other hand, an entrepreneur in the private sector must be the best of the best so that people want to buy his product or to hire his service. He must produce the highest quality products possible within limited budgets in order to serve people and survive. And if he fails, he's the only one to be held accountable and to pay the price of failure. In the public sector, on the other hand, the bureaucrats can be rude, incompetent, wasteful, and make endless of mistakes. They don't have to answer emails or phone calls. You can wait in the line forever. Yet you're obliged to hire their service. And there's no alternative. And if they fail, it's not the bureaucrat who's going to pay for it. It's you, the client/citizen. In the private sector, if one fails, one needs to shut down to go to learn more skills or change one's profession in order to allow genuinely competent people to contribute to the evolution of society. Of course, if one prints money here because he's run out of cash, this is a crime and one goes to jail for it. But if the incompetent politicians run out of cash, they can simply print money out of thin air. First, in order to pay the police that protect them with guns, aiming to kill those who dare to try to hold the politicians accountable. The police has no idea where the money comes from. It's not intelligent people. And of course, second, to maintain the status quo in general. So the politicians will never run out of cash, regardless of how incompetent and inefficient and wasteful they are. And when they print more money without working and without justifying that with achievement, the currency loses its value. And of course, those who don't really deliver, like the parasitic politicians, they should not worry about it, because anyway they don't deliver. But those who do work and deliver, they need to work harder and longer for the same amount of value. It's not about money. It's about psychology, it's about opportunism, it's about parasitic behavior. And here's what we can do about it. First of all, to be aware of what this means. Because if someone's focus can easily shift to any false flag operation, starting to get angry with other religions rather than with their own politicians, it means that they didn't get it. There's no nation or religion or anything to blame for anything other than their own parasitic politicians. Second, to keep spreading the word for more awareness, because regardless of how much we remind others, many seem to love to forget this and focus on a weak scapegoat rather than facing that Goliath. And there are also those who didn't know about it, so we need them to hear it and to know it. We are not living in a free market anymore, or in a market where the public sector and the private sector are equal in the court of law. Nowadays, a wasteful, incompetent bureaucrat can destroy a national asset out of jealousy and get away with it. Like Fauci and co. locking down private businesses in order to channel their wealth to the pharma companies and their associates and the governments and their clubs. Third, until the collective awakening that we aspire to happens, we are on our own. So let's remember what really matters. If someone is dragged so easily into investing in liabilities or dragged by anything else than what really matters, one would fall into the trap of financial slavery. What really matters here is the world of spirit, is love and passion and truth and morality and ethics and the people around us who share those values. We invest in what really matters. We might not have private jets until society awakens and restores meritocracy. Until then, we focus on how to survive this inflation on our own and perhaps connect with some like-minded. Thank you everyone for staying with me. I'm Shredy Jabarin. Ciao.